Good morning, and welcome to the Alabama High School Athletic Association Kickoff Press Conference. It's an exciting time of the year as we get ready to start our football season, volleyball season, and all our fall sports in a couple of days. We have the pleasure today of having 4 schools here, along with the City of Montgomery, to welcome you to this year's fall contest. At this time, to all our viewers, I would like to welcome the Director of the Alabama High School Athletic Association, Athletic Directors and Coaches Association, Mr. Jamie Lee.
Thank you, Coach. And again, I'm so thankful that all of you have joined us, and I'm very excited about this week. What a great time it's going to be getting to see our student athletes and our coaches and our communities compete. So I'm very thankful to have today. Thankful that our coaches came today to be here with us. Just a brief introduction of the show, what you can expect today. First of all, in just a moment, I'll bring up our Executive Director. But after he speaks, we've got several visitors that are going to come and speak with you about their part in this week's Kickoff Classic. Kay McCreary, representing the City of Montgomery. We're so very thankful for the city and for their impact and what they do to help high school sports and what they specifically do to help Alabama High School Athletic Association. So she'll be here on behalf of the mayor and the City of Montgomery. Our AHSAA weekly TV host, John Holder with WOTM TV, will be here to talk about the games of the week and to give you a little preview of the fall. Very fortunate to have a cross-country coach from Tallahassee, Danny Worley, here, the volleyball coach from Carver, Montgomery, Virginia Franklin here, along with she's also the athletic director. And then we have our 4 football coaches from the teams that will be playing this weekend here in the Kickoff Classic. So very fortunate to have all of them. But before they come up, before I introduce them individually and they come up to speak to you, we want to turn it over to our Executive Director, Coach Savarese, to give you a few words. And I'm very fortunate, we are all very fortunate to have his leadership here in the state during this time. So, Coach Savarese, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Jamie, and it's exciting to be just 2 days away from starting the 2020 fall sports season with our 2020 Kickoff Classic. Moreover, I welcome all of you to the 2020 fall sports season. First and foremost, it's been a challenging road getting here. Because of many individuals, our students will now have an opportunity to resume their childhood as we have contests beginning Thursday, August the 20th. Likewise, I'd like to thank the AHSAA staff for their tireless efforts implementing best practice guidelines under the direction of Denise Ainsworth. Their commitment to keeping the best practices updated as new information became available. But most importantly, I want to thank them for their commitment to the overall health, safety, and well-being of our student athletes. In addition, we're very thankful to the Central Board of Control under the leadership of President Keith Bender from Oneonta Schools and Vice President Mike Welch, who is the incoming superintendent for Cherokee County Schools. I thank the entire board, the 15 individuals who represent the state of Alabama, for your leadership during these challenging times. I would be remiss if I didn't mention our contest officials, many of who are moderate age. Thank you for your commitment to our student athletes, knowing we cannot have contests without you. A special thanks to our Medical Advisory Board under the leadership of Dr. James Robinson, Dr. Jeff Dugas, and 15 other individuals who give of their time to protect our student athletes. We're extremely grateful to Dr. Scott Harris from the Alabama Department of Public Health, Dr. Mark Wilson from Jefferson County Public Health, the governor and her staff, as well as the State Department of Education under the leadership of Dr. Eric Mackey for their guidance in helping our association mitigate the risk of participation, knowing we can't eliminate all the risk, and demonstrating their confidence in the benefit of educational athletics. We would not be where we are today without each one of them. Lastly, I want to recognize our coaches and educators. They've been awesome. The example they have set, categorically following the best practice guidelines, is a testament that everyone in our country can learn from. Their illustration has shown our state how we can live with this virus. We're all grateful to our parents, the fans, and spectators for their understanding of physical distance guidelines, of wearing masks in regard to the governor's health order. If each of us do our part, practice these guidelines, sooner than later, we'll be able to fill stadiums and gymnasiums again. Let us not forget those who are uncomfortable with participation, either as an individual or as a school system. As we've said previously, our association completely understands and respects their position. Prayerfully, conditions will change sooner than later, and all students will have the opportunity to return to participation. No one has all the answers with COVID-19, but we must respect each other regardless of our position. Interscholastic athletic participation has always been and must remain the choice of a parent. I want to remind you, nothing will be normal this season. So I encourage you not to gauge success or failure on playing 1 or 10 games, winning a championship, or making the playoffs. But let the season be measured by the opportunity provided for those who will benefit from educational athletics in some form or fashion. It's not who is playing this week, again, about winning championships, but the fact that we have an opportunity to play. Many of you are wondering about the status of teams participating this first week. Before we provide a summary of those schools participating, I'm again grateful to our Central Board of Control for allowing our schools the flexibility to play on an at-will basis with no penalty if a school is unable to play a full schedule or finds it necessary not to field a team. Our member schools have shown overwhelming support for this flexibility plan, knowing they have the autonomy to make decisions that are in the best interest of the student athletes within their community. We are encouraged that 89% of our schools are playing games during this first week, and 96 are planning to participate by the time we get to region games. With volleyball, almost 100% of our teams are participating, as well as cross country and swimming. So we're very grateful for the position we are in as we begin. As we prepare for the Kickoff Classic, I want to thank and am very grateful for the leadership of Jamie Lee, the director of the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association, and Brandon Dean, assistant director, for their outstanding leadership, as well as creating a template for a safe contest. We're grateful to the City of Montgomery. We're grateful to Mayor Stephen Reed and for providing us an outstanding facility like the Crampton Bowl, where we will participate for the Kickoff Classic. We're also grateful for Kay McCreary and Murray Wilson for their ongoing collaboration with our staff, thus providing the safest environment possible. With all the challenges of COVID-19, especially to those individuals my age that may not be able to attend, we are extremely grateful for the NFHS network, WOTM TV, and the AHSA radio network for broadcasting these two games for those who may not be able to attend. The Kickoff Classic is a special event for the participants and offers a championship atmosphere for the schools and communities to start their season. We have two awesome games, and I am just as ready as you are to experience the positives of educational athletics. Moreover, I'm just excited to watch our students, our coaches and administrators, spectators, watch them take an escape from the health challenges we all are facing and just enjoying life again and themselves. Again, I'm grateful that our students will have an opportunity to experience their childhood through sport. When teams hit the field or court this week, things may look different, but the goal is still the same. We're going to continue to build leaders through educational athletics. I look forward to seeing you at a game this fall, and I wish all of our student athletes, swimming, cross country, volleyball, and football, an outstanding experience participating in sport. God bless all of you, and thank you for being part of this Media Day.
Thank you, Coach, and hopefully all of you recognize and understand that we are very fortunate to have Coach Savarese leading this organization. His leadership is unprecedented with other executive directors all across this country. The impact he has and has had on so many people in our state is we're just so very fortunate to have him. I want to echo one thing he said. I just want to congratulate and thank again all of our athletic directors, all of our principals, and all of our coaches for the job they have done this summer to prepare their student athletes to try to be able to compete this fall. Brandon and I both feel very fortunate to be the director and directors of your Coaches Association, and we're very fortunate to have the job that you do, and we're just very thankful and know that we're here to support you all we can. As Coach mentioned, and I mentioned in the beginning, we are very fortunate to have such a great partnership with the City of Montgomery. Their partnership and their support of the Alabama High School Athletic Association is just so very important to us and so very important to our student athletes. And so at this time, I would like to bring Kay McCreary up. She's the Director of the Parks and Recreation here. She's been with the City of Montgomery for 35 years. And so she is such a very valuable part of what they do and what we do here at our association. So on behalf of the city, we're going to bring her up and have her say a few words. Okay?
Thank you, Jamie. It's really a pleasure to be here. It's truly a pleasure for the City of Montgomery to partner with the Alabama High School Athletic Association to present the beginning of high school football in the state of Alabama. On behalf of Mayor Stephen Reed and our City Council and other city officials, we're excited to have AHSAA a part of opening the stadium for the fall season. We're excited to have 4 outstanding schools represented by their football teams. I want to echo what's been said and ask you to please bring those face coverings and mask with you. We have done a great job. Our staff has worked very hard to get the stadium prepared. We meet all state health regulations, take care of everything to keep you safe coming to be a part of the game. We ask you to please do your part and help us do the social distance piece that's just required this day and time. We're excited to have these young men come and play, the cheerleaders, others who will be participating in the game. We look forward to being a part of a really successful kickoff for high school football. It's certainly important in this state, and it begins with high school football, and we're excited to be a part of that. And again, on behalf of the City of Montgomery, it's our pleasure to be a part of this event, and we look forward to welcoming folks Thursday and Friday night to Crampton Bowl. Thanks.
Thank you, Kay. And as Kay mentioned, her staff has done a phenomenal job. We've met with them. I've talked to her several times about what needs to take place, what they expect from us, what they expect from our teams, and I'm just so very thankful to have her leadership and, like Coach mentioned, Murray Wilson's leadership to have that place ready. We're very fortunate to have a stadium that size to where we can have these 4 teams in to compete and social distance the way we need to and still have great crowds. So very fortunate to have that. Looking forward to it, Kay. Thank you very much. At this time, I want to bring up the AHSAA Weekly TV host, John Holder from WOTM. And if you've ever heard John, you know he has a professional TV voice. There is no doubt about it. I've had the pleasure to be interview with him several times, and we're very fortunate to have him do this show. So at this time, I'll have him come up and talk about the AHSAA Weekly Total. John?
Thank you, Jamie, and I want to echo what Jamie has said and what Kay has said about the excitement that we have at WOTM about high school football season beginning in just a couple of days, and we are going to kick it off big time, not only with these 2 games coming up, but a whole slate of games all season long. Of course, Thursday night at 7 o'clock on WOTM, stations around the state of Alabama. If you do not have WOTM, contact your local cable operator and ask them for WOTM so that you can watch all of the games coming up that we are going to talk about, including Thursday night at 7, the first game in the Kickoff Classic, of course, Montgomery Catholic and Pike Road. Pike Road moving up from 3A all the way to 5A this year, and their first ever matchup with Montgomery Catholic. Ought to be a great matchup there on Thursday night. Then on Friday night at 7, we come back to the Crampton Bowl, and 2 teams that have played each other many times. Big rivals there on Alabama Highway 14 in the northern suburbs of Montgomery, talking about the Wetumpka Indians and the Prattville Lions. That will be a great matchup. That game, of course, live on WOTM at 7 p.m. as well. And then we roll into Saturday night. We got a Saturday night special to kick off the season for you. It's the Gold Bowl that will be coming to you from Alabaster. And what a matchup it is. The #1 ranked team in 6A, defending state champion, the Oxford Yellow Jackets, taking on the #1 team in 7A and defending 7A state champion, the Thompson Warriors. This game goes to support Children's Hospital of Alabama, also the Alabama Center for Childhood Cancer and Blood Disorders. You can go to warriorfoundation.org to find out more information on that. Of course, a former athlete at Thompson, this is what this is kind of geared around, Elaine Roberts, and this is done in her honor. Just a tremendous game. Will be a packed house. I think it's already sold out. The game between a battle of #1s and defending state champions in the 2 largest classes in Alabama, Oxford and also Thompson in the 6A and 7A defending state champions. Now, then we roll into the season every Thursday night. Live on WOTM, we will bring you games from all over the state of Alabama. We will have games in the north and the south and the east and the west. All of our metro Birmingham and Montgomery and Huntsville and Mobile areas will be covered. We got a great list of games coming up this season. Beginning August 27th, we'll have Daphne at Davidson. Daphne moving up from 6A to 7A for the first time ever this year. Then we come back on Labor Day weekend on Thursday, the Labor Day kickoff on September 3rd, a great South Alabama matchup from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Troy between Greenville and Charles Henderson. Great 5A matchup there. Then on September 10th, we take you to Huntsville, to Milton Frank Stadium, iconic venue up in North Alabama. Sparkman and Grissom, 2 Metro Huntsville teams going at it that night. Then on September 17th, great matchup. Mountain Brook, for the first time ever, moving down from 7A to 6A. They will host their next-door neighbor rivals, Shays Valley. That will be at Spartan Stadium in Mountain Brook on September the 24th. A unique matchup coming. We'll take it to the heart of Alabama, down to Chilton County. Class 1A power Maplesville taking on Class 5A Jemison, an in-county rival there, 1A versus a 5A. Then on October 1st, we take you to East Alabama, Cherokee County and Munford, meeting for only the 4th time ever. They will clash at Munford. They're region rivals now. That'll be a great game in East Alabama. October 8th, back up north, Madison Academy and Madison County. Both teams ranked in the top 10 in the state in the preseason in Class 4A. That are now region rivals. That'll be a huge game out at Gurley at Madison County. Couple of weeks there where we are still determining the matchups, but I can tell you we have some good choices. We'll make these determinations a little bit later on. But on October the 15th and October 22nd, we'll have 2 Huge games coming up for you on those 2 weekends. And then we close it out in spectacular fashion. Coming up on October 29th, we close out the regular season at Lamar Field in Oxford, defending Class 6A state champion, #1 ranked Oxford, taking on Central of Phoenix City, the 7A runner-up from a year ago. They're #2 in the preseason poll in Class 7A, and that will be a great way to wind up our season here with our AHSAA WOTM Game of the Week. Join us every Thursday night live at 7 o'clock. Tommy Wood, one of the top play-by-play talents in the entire state of Alabama, will be our play-by-play voice again this year. Be joined by Rick Rhodes, former Troy head coach, former high school head coach. He will be the color commentator. Coming up on Saturday night, Tommy will be joined by Mickey Shadricks on the call of the Oxford-Thompson game. But the rest of the way, it'll be Tommy Wood and it will be Coach Rick Rhodes. So we're excited at WOTM and the AHSAA TV network to bring you our AHSAA TV statewide Game of the Week every Thursday night on WOTM at 7 o'clock. We are ready for football season. No question about that. Appreciate being here in Montgomery today at the AHSAA.
Thank you so much, John, and I know you could hear his enthusiasm in his voice to be ready to go and create this special AHSA Weekly we have TV show, and he does a phenomenal job with that. You know, I've heard Coach Savarese say this many times that I've been here. Yes, we're in a football-driven state, and football is important in Alabama, but all of our student athletes and all of our sports are important. We are very proud to have so many sports and so many student athletes across our state be able to compete. And this week starts that, not just football. We've talked about football, but we're starting cross country this week. We're starting volleyball this week. And so we are very fortunate to bring in a couple of our cross country coaches and volleyball coach to speak to us. So I want to introduce Danny Worley. He is the head cross country coach at Tallahassee. He has done a phenomenal job sort of building that program. If I understand correctly, you started that program, Coach, and he has done a phenomenal job of building that program. They continue to get better, and so we have asked Coach Worley to come and share a little bit about his team, about his program, about what his expectations are for this coming year. So I'm very pleased to introduce Coach Danny Worley of Tallahassee High School.
Okay, thank you first of all to Mr. Savarese and Mr. Ingram and the rest of the staff for having me up today to talk about cross country. We're really excited in Tallahassee about cross country. It's not a sport that we had when I first got there. I've been at Tallahassee for 15 years. I'm a Katrina transplant. I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. I graduated from Destrehan High School, and I was down there when Katrina hit. My wife is originally from Tallahassee, so that's how I ended up in this area. Her job moved up here, and so it was just a natural fit, and I went to Tallahassee. And I was, when I got there, they said, you're going to coach, you're coaching football, but you're also going to coach track. Well, we were about in wrestling, so we were about 4 years in, and we kept going to the wrestling meets up in Huntsville, and we were a couple times we were runner-up, and our kids came back and said, Coach, let's start a cross-country team. I'm like, what is that? And they said, well, basically, we hear some of the teams like Scottsboro and some of the teams that are winning all the time, their kids that aren't playing football are basically running cross-country. And so what we did was we started a cross-country team. I didn't know what it was. My first cross-country meet 11 years ago was the first one I coached. Since then, we've built the program up with my assistant, Mark Baines. We've been able to basically grow the program, and we've done fairly well. We've won a sectional. We've been runner-up a couple times. This coming year, we're really excited. You can see the excitement in the kids. We had the pandemic, and we got a little bit late start, but since they've been coming to practice, you can just see it in them. They're ready to go, and they're ready to basically get the season going. We're excited because we have a group that has been with us since the 6th grade. They're now 11th graders. Our top 4 will be Alex Harrison, Baxley Burton, Caleb Mason, and Woodrow Dean. Speak a little bit about Woodrow Dean. Woodrow Dean will be one of the top runners in the state this year in any classification. Last year, he basically finished second at the state meet, and he finished first in quite a few meets, including the sectional meet and the Montgomery cross-country championship meet. He was able to basically have one of the top times in the state in any classification. So in the next 2 years, he'll be one of the top runners in the southeast United States, we feel. And he's basically, his work has basically propelled the other kids, and the excitement that he's brought has propelled the team to basically get to a new level. We've also got a couple of young kids, Grant McCraney, Jacob Patterson, and Brady Mason, who are in their third year, just freshmen, but they're in their third year with the program, and they basically have taken his training and what he does and watched him and how we do things with our program, and they're going to be real big for us. The growth of cross country. A lot of times you don't think cross country. I coach football also, but we also do cross country. It's not uncommon, and I see this a lot. When I go to a cross country meet on a Saturday morning, I'll see other football coaches there. Coach Brown, he's at Wetumpka now, but when he was at Elmore County, we would get there and we'd talk about the Friday game and stuff, but we had our teams there. And we just tried to make a way for our kids to be able to compete. And that's the growth of it, like in our county, Elmore County, has been tremendous. I was the first one to start a program in the county. Now every high school in the county has a program. And now we're starting to see smaller schools. I'll see a Horseshoe Bend. They've had a program for a few years. Watley, we'll see them at our meets that we go to. So the competition is growing. It's getting better. And we basically have seen a lot of schools that have track programs basically start cross country as well. As far as our season, we're going to kick off next week. We've done this for about the last 10 years. We will start off at Smith Station at the Smith Station Panther Relays. It's a 3K event. It's on Thursday of next week, and we're real excited about that. Then we'll go September 19th to Central Alabama Cross Country Championship, and that's held at the Huntington College course, which is in Grady, Alabama, and that's a great course. If you're looking for a meet to go to, I would suggest that one. That's Huntington College's course, and that's on September 19th. Then we'll go to Opelika Sportsplex on September 26th. From there, we'll go to the Jesse Owens Classic, up where the state meet is held. Then October 10th, we'll go to Smith Station for their invite, and then we'll finish off our season October 17th with the Auburn invite. And then we'll move on to sectional. This year we'll move up from section 5A-1, which is the Mobile sectional. We'll move up to our traditional track sectional, which will be 5A section 3, which will be with Beauregard and Sylacauga and Clay Central and the schools that we normally compete in track. So we're real excited to get back with those guys that we compete with in track. But the excitement of the kids is just, you can see it. They've been at home. They've been social distancing. When they come to practice, you can just see they want to be around their friends. They want to do the things that they normally do. But at the same time, they're doing what we ask them to do, because we've told them, you have to do the things that you're being asked to do, as far as wear a mask, social distance, and do what the administrators are asking us to do in order for us to have our season. And they've done a good job of that. And you can just see they're wanting to be around each other. And I'd like to thank our administration for giving us the opportunity to have a program. I'd like to thank Coach Battles and Mr. Coker and Chet Stewart, our administration, for what they've done for us.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate that. As you can tell, Coach Worley, he mentioned it, football, wrestling, track, cross country. So he wears a lot of different hats, and as you can tell, he does a fantastic job, and very, very thankful to have him in the area, very thankful to have him working with those cross-country kids as well as the other student athletes he mentioned. And again, if you have never seen a cross-country meet, we would encourage you to go do that. Take a Saturday, take a Thursday afternoon, whenever that you can find one running, and go watch those kids compete. It's very intriguing. It's an awesome thing to watch them get all those kids lined up ready to start, and then watch them run. As I mentioned, again, volleyball's kicking off this week, and we're very fortunate to have one of our local volleyball coaches here, Coach Virginia Franklin. She's also the athletic director. As Ron told me this morning, she could probably do anything we need her to do, and we're very fortunate to have her so close to us, because if we need something, we can call her, and she can help us out, and we're very fortunate to have her here. So we've asked her to come tell us a little bit about what's going on in her school, what's going on with her volleyball team as she gets ready to compete. Coach Virginia Franklin from Carver, Montgomery. Coach?
Good morning. I'm Virginia Franklin. I'm the athletic director at Carver High School. I also serve as the athletic director. I'll be going into my 23rd year at Carver High School, and during those years I have coached volleyball, softball, and track and field. I've also helped out with baseball in the past, but anywho, I enjoy doing all of those things, and This year is going to be interesting for volleyball. It's going to be quite a different look. If you come to some volleyball matches, you'll notice that on the sidelines will be a little different. The bleachers, the fans in the bleachers will be socially distanced. And we plan to do the Go Fan for ticketing. Also, once again, I also serve as on a couple of committees here with the Athletic Association. I've been on the technology committee. I'm also on the volleyball committee, and I feel it an honor just to be on there and to be able to help fellow coaches when they call and ask questions that deal with volleyball and that I'm able to answer. Also, you know, I was kind of hesitant about volleyball at first this year, and my parents were. They flooded me with phone calls and text messages, and I told them, hey, listen, the Athletic Association is going to play this year. The kids want to play. They're excited. They've been playing all summer rather, and we're going to kick this season off. We're going to practice social distancing. We're going to practice the AHSAA best practice guidelines, and we're excited about it because I only lost one senior, and so we're excited about our team. We went to the second round this past year in the super regionals, and I hope that we do just as well or better this upcoming season. So we are excited about that. Our football team is excited about playing. The kids keep asking me, Coach, we are going to get to play, right? We are going to get to play. And I tell them absolutely. You know, and if anything changes, you know, we pray that it doesn't, but if it does, and we have to go with whatever the changes are. But we're just looking forward to having a great season in volleyball and the rest of our sports at Carver High School. And thank you for having me.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate that. And it's good to hear that, like you said, maybe your players are a little nervous, your coaches, your teachers are a little nervous, but I know with your leadership, they're doing a great job, and we're going to keep them safe to the best of our ability. And we may have our challenges, but we're going to do the best we can and get to watch those people play. So, Coach, thank you again for being here. Looking forward to watching some volleyball. At this time, I want to turn it over to one of our football coaches. We're very excited to have two local teams here, two teams that have had tremendous seasons last year with Pike Road and Montgomery Catholic. I think pretty correct. I think both teams went undefeated in the regular season last year, and I know they're excited about the upcoming season as well. And Coach Browning's been tremendous. Anytime I've called him, asked him anything, he's done a fantastic job to get back with me. I know his school is very excited what they have going on out there at Pike Road, and so I'm excited to hear what he's got to say about his team, some of his players, and the outlook that he has for his upcoming season. So at this time, I'm bringing up Patrick Browning from Pike Road High School.
Now, I'd like to start out by thanking the AHSAA for letting us participate in this Kickoff Classic event. You know, we're really glad for the opportunity to get to play Montgomery Catholic this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. And I'd also like to just talk a little bit first about Pike Road as a town. You know, Pike Road is the fastest growing town in the state of Alabama, and it's growing at a rapid pace, along with our school system. You know, we in the last 5 years, we started with one school campus, and we're now up to 3. It's one of the most rapid growing school systems also in the state, coupled with our town growth is tremendous. And next, I'd like to talk about our administration, just support we have, not only in the town and our school board, but our principals, our superintendent, our teachers. You know, we have tremendous support all around our town. I think that's what makes Pike Road a very special place. You know, everyone cares for everyone, and everyone wants us to be the best we can be in all facets. And talking a little bit about the season, you know, we have 21 seniors this year, and I was hired there in April of their 7th grade year. So it's a unique opportunity to have a group with you this long. So this is fun for us to watch them grow physically and mentally and go through all different challenges over the years. So we're really excited to see this group compete This group has great leadership ability. They've shown great leadership through the pandemic, and also protocols that was asked to put into place. They've done a great job of helping implement those protocols. And I think if you look at any great football team or any team in general, it really starts with your senior class. And I'm proud of what these guys have not only accomplished or what their futures hold beyond the game of football when they do graduate. Another interesting fact that I was talking to our coaches about is, we're playing 8 of our 10 games on artificial turf. So, coupled with the AHSAA Kickoff game and also our home games and an away game against Andalusia, I think it's a unique opportunity to play that many games on an artificial surface, and our kids are excited about it, our coaches are excited about it, and that's one thing I thought was a unique stat that not many of us have probably done in our careers. Let's talk a little bit about impact players. Starting out with Blake Durham, receiver, senior. Jeremiah Frazier, he's going to be our starting center. He's also a senior. LJ McLeod, he's our starting nose guard. He's a senior. Harrison Wallace, he's also a starting receiver for us, and he's a senior. Last, Quinshawn Judkins, he's a junior running back for us. All 5 of these kids, tremendous people first and foremost. All 5 hold Division I offers of some caliber. All 5 have been working extremely hard in practice, and I'm anxious to see what these 5 are going to do. And it's hard picking just 5 to call out because we got so many kids that's worked extremely hard this summer and even in the off season. But these were 5 that I just wanted to bring to light because we want to talk a little bit about the impact players, and I feel like these guys are week in and week out are going to make the most impact for us from a team at this point. Last, I'd just like to say, Pike Road is excited to play, not just this game, but also, in the rest of our sports and throughout the rest of football season. We're extremely blessed and excited just for the opportunity to do what's ever asked of us from a protocol standpoint to stay safe for our players, our coaches, our fans, and our whole student body and teachers. So we just want to say that in this, thank you very much again for allowing us to be part of this event, and go Patriots.
Coach, thank you so much for that information about your team, and I do know that is a special time for you to have that many seniors and kids that you've brought up since the 7th grade, and so I remember those days, and that is very fine and very, very, very exciting thing for you. Coach Aubrey Blackwell, head football coach at Montgomery Catholic. Again, just any time I've taught Coach, been willing to help us in any way possible around the city, anything we might need to do. Fantastic person, has done a fantastic job with his football team over the last several years. Again, an undefeated team last year. Looking forward to seeing his team compete again this year, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he has to say about his team. Coach Aubrey Blackwell of Montgomery Catholic.
Good morning. What a tremendous blessing and time this is. And I'm just so excited that the Montgomery Catholic Knights are going to get an opportunity to play in Crampton Bowl, not just for our program and our school, but more importantly for even for myself, growing up playing at Crampton Bowl, at Robert E. Lee, and get an opportunity to be a head coach. I knew right off the bat at any chance I had to play in this venue again, and I would take it. And just really, really happy and excited and thankful for the High School Athletic Association and choosing us and allowing us to be a part of this incredible game. And I think there's a lot on this, and I want us to be great. I want us to have our first step and our front foot forward, everything that we do to make sure we set a great example. And it's a good thing that we're the first game out for high school football this fall. It's a great thing that we're getting an opportunity for these young kids to be on the field and get an opportunity to be who they are and do what they love. It's a great opportunity for some of these guys that need this game to give themselves a chance to go to college and play at the next level. And we're extremely thankful for Coach Savarese and the work that the Alabama High School Athletic Association has put in and the courage that it took to make sure we stepped out and we did what we needed to do to give our kids a chance to play this great game. And that's what I'm really looking forward to the most, is our kids getting out to do that. I'm starting year 6 at Montgomery Catholic. We are fortunate enough last season to have a 12-win season. It was the most wins in Catholic history, and graduated a senior class that was the winningest class at Montgomery Catholic in their 4 years. A group of kids that did amazing work, not just on the football field, but off the field. Their leadership capability, how they loved each other, how they created a culture in the weight room and on the field is something that every class from this one out has got a lot really big shoes to fill. We're very fortunate that we have an incredible administration. We're going through a change, and our president, Miss Ann Caesar, retiring, and she was the one that hired me and just helped build this vision. And when we came in, she gave us this whole picture of what she wanted to look like before she retired. And it was there to get to that point last year and win 12 games and help her vision be succeeded was something that we're very thankful for. And Jessica Stanza, who was our principal, is now our administrator, our head president, and just excited about the future and the new energy that he's going to bring. And we're very fortunate to have that. Also, retaining my coaches. Really excited about. For another year, being able to keep coaches on staff. We're not fortunate like most big schools, so we only have a handful of guys that are there all day long. I have 3 full-time assistants. Everybody else has jobs elsewhere. They either teach at another high school or elementary school, or they're salesmen or roofers, or there's so many different guys that we bring in that just impact kids, and I'm really thankful for those coaches. In particular, my assistant head coach, Kirk Johnson. He's my defense coordinator. He's starting his 7th year at Montgomery Catholic. I'm really proud of what we've been able to retain. Going into this year, we only have 3 returning starters on offense, an offense that set every record that we had at Montgomery Catholic. Big shoes to fill with that, and so we're very young on that side of the ball. On defense, we only have 6 returning starters. So the biggest thing going into this year is these first couple of weeks is just getting these young kids ready to play. We have a lot of kids that got some experience last year, but for the most part, only 9 of our 22 guys we depended on game 1 last year to be our starters. Our seniors on the offensive side of the ball, Miles Butler and DJ Carter, 2 wide receivers, are really going to count on. Both of those kids are hold offers to Division I universities. On the defensive side of the ball, defensive lineman Marcus Dees, senior Mark Scooter Robinson, linebacker TJ Dudley, Kylan Griffin, Jordan Thomas, and Pat Ryan. These guys, even though they're going to get their 2nd year as a starter, I'm really proud of what they've been able to do. The leadership on our team is, like what we talked about yesterday, is something that we want to come on in a hurry. We got to teach these kids to grow up, and what an incredible first game to be able to do that. We're really excited about not only this game, getting an opportunity to play Pike Road and have an opportunity to play against a group of guys that are competitive. And, I want our guys to come out and have fun and enjoy this great moment that we get to play this game. I was talking to some of the other coaches before we walked in, and, the biggest thing that we talked about is that we don't have enemies. Right now, our biggest goal for us as coaches and as players is let's just get through this season. Let's do everything we can health-wise and make sure we get here. And we're very, very proud of that, and we're very blessed to be able to be in this football game and be able to be that first team that's going to step on the field this Friday night. And thankful again for all the Montgomery Catholic family and the culture and the community that we have. We're extremely blessed, and hope you all can make it out. If you can't make it to Crampton Bowl this Thursday night, please make sure you cut on the NFHS network and make sure you watch these kids play, and it's going to be a fun night. Thank you.
Coach, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And for all of you, again, Thursday night, 7 o'clock here at the Crampton Bowl, Pike Road versus Montgomery Catholic. I hope you can tell that's going to be two very good football teams, 2 well-coached football teams. We're very excited to have them here. Our Friday night game, 6A Wetumpka versus 7A Prattville. Really don't have to say a whole lot about those 2 teams in terms of how the success they've had over the years. Coach Tim Perry, Wetumpka, took his team to the championship 2 years ago. Had a tremendous year again last year, and has just done a phenomenal job of building that program the few years he's been there. My wife is a Wetumpka employee, and she talks about Coach Perry and his impact in that school, so I know it's very fortunate. Those kids are very fortunate to have him, and we're really looking forward to seeing this football game on Friday night. So it's my pleasure at this time to bring up Coach Tim Perry from Wetumpka.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Mr. Richard Dennis, the superintendent at Elmore County Schools, Dr. Robbie Slater, the principal at Wetumpka High School, our faculty, our coaching staff, we would like to thank Coach Steve Savarese and the Alabama High School Athletic Association for extending this invitation to the Wetumpka Indian football team to participate in this tremendous event. Back in the off-season, when we were first contacted with this opportunity, I talked to our team about it and to our leaders, and they were very excited to have an opportunity to play in front of the entire state, play one of the early games, and play at a venue like Crampton Bowl. We want to thank the Alabama High School Athletic Association for sponsoring this event and putting it on, and be able to let the young men and on all the teams that are participating in it, but on especially the Wetumpka Indians, for extending this invitation and giving us an opportunity to play in this event in this venue. This begins my 9th year at Wetumpka High School, my 40th overall coaching high school football, and this is the greatest profession in the world. Football is the greatest sport in the world. And so having an opportunity to showcase it and the talents of these young men on all 4 teams is really something special. We're just grateful to Coach Savarese and the Alabama High School Athletic Association for staying the course and making some hard decisions and being able to continue high school football and allowing these young men to be able to participate in the great game that they love. Us as coaches to have an opportunity to be able to do the thing that we're passionate about and to be able to share this experience, not so much about just wins and losses, but having this opportunity this year for this experience and the relationship that we're able to build with the 2020 Wetumpka Indians, and to be able to share in this season, which these young men will have these memories for the rest of their life, and we're very blessed and grateful to have a small part of it. A little bit about the Wetumpka Indians. We have been blessed over the last several years to position ourselves to be successful. We've been blessed to play in the state championship game. The last couple of years we have made it to the semifinals. In fact, last year's the 2020 graduating class was overall the most successful class in the history of Wetumpka High School. As sophomores, they were region champions, Southern region champions, and then played a runner-up, 6A runner-up. As juniors, they were back-to-back region champions, back-to-back semifinal appearance. And then last year, they were able to make it to the second round. We like to talk in terms at Wetumpka about passing the baton, and so now the baton's been passed to the 2020 Wetumpka Indians, and we talk to them about building their legacy. And we also talk to this group a lot about how proud we are of them, because this is the first class in the history of our country that's had to contend with this virus that we're all having to contend with, and with all the changes. Very proud of them. I did not know what Zoom was several months ago, and then all of a sudden I became familiar with it. But I say that we started our Zoom workouts once the decision was made to close schools back in April, and we had Zoom workouts 3 days a week. And I'm very proud to say that we averaged between 50 and 60 of our players that participated in it 3 days a week. And in this day and time, and with everything that was going on, to have that many young people dedicated to the sport that they love, that would basically, get themselves up, they're at home, and get themselves involved in the workout. And some of them had to find equipment to use, and so very proud of this group. We return 4 starters on offense. offensive tackle, senior Colby Golson, offensive guard, senior Abraham Preston, 3-year starter at center, senior Ben Barker, and then wide receiver / quarterback / running back Brandon Bowman. Defensively, we returned 7 starters. Defensive tackle Stephen Nolan, a junior, senior defensive end Miles Ross, linebacker, a junior linebacker Dylan Price, junior linebacker Lamaris Jackson, and junior linebacker Austin Turner, and junior safety Avery Thomas. Very proud of how this group has transitioned from the Zoom workouts into the summer workouts, how they have quickly built their relationships and bonded, and having the opportunity now to begin the season. So we're very much looking forward to it. It's an honor for Wetumpka High School to be extended this invitation, and so it's an honor. Coaching staff, I'm biased, but I think we have the best coaching staff in the state of Alabama. We have a group of young men that, first of all, are men of faith, and they exhibit that every day to the young people that God's entrusted to us on a daily basis. They also have a heart for these young men, and will also go the second and third mile to meet the needs of these young men that play on our team. So I'm very honored to be able to share this opportunity and coach every day with them. But again, on behalf of Wetumpka High School and the Elmore County School System, we want to tell you how grateful that we are to be offered this invitation to play in this great game. And we want to encourage everyone, whether you come out physically, but if you can't, to support these young people and from all these schools and these coaching staff in this great event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach Perry. And again, we appreciate you being here. And as you can tell, a lot of wisdom in that 40 years. So we appreciate him and his experience and what he's done. Wetumpka's opponent Friday night will be the Prattville Lions. Coach Caleb Ross has been there. How many years is this now, Coach? This is his 3rd year, and done a tremendous job. Went out and watched him last year. He's just done a great job of building that program back and trying to put his stamp on it. And we're very fortunate to have him bring his team to the Crampton Bowl to complete on Friday night. And so at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Coach Caleb Ross and the Prattville Lions.
Yeah, first, on behalf of Todd County Board of Education, Superintendent Spence Agee, and our Principal Brock Dunn, we want to thank the Alabama High School Athletic Association for inviting us, Coach Savarese. This is a great event to be able to showcase your team and with the whole state and be one of those teams is something thrilling. Same thing, I know what Coach Perry said when we presented the opportunity to our kids, it was a no-brainer. Coach, we got to do that. So we're very thankful, first of all, just to have the opportunity to play. It's been obviously an unusual year. I know, like most, man, the value of what you get in playing a team sport. I know there's risk in everything we do, but to me, the value and us not having that, to me, it was a greater risk. But, everybody's opinion differs there, and nobody's wrong on that. I know Coach Savarese has said that earlier and truly believe the same. So just thankful to play, like I said, to showcase our talents on a big stage like the Crampton Bowl and the Kickoff Classic is just an opportunity we couldn't pass up. So excited about playing. We've had a outstanding summer. Just like other coaches, when things shut down, we were having a really good spring workout. Then obviously life got turned upside down, and like most, we had to go scramble and just want to be how resilient most kids are in general, but just even our kids of responding to Zoom meetings, to virtual workouts, to just daily and just having them check in with coaches. Man, it was just really something, and really, like I said, just a unique time for everybody. So when we got a chance to get back in the summer. And the beauty about football is you forget how much, even being away myself for 2 months, it was good to kind of be human again, but when you get to see those kids, you realize what your purpose in life is, man, when they get to come back on June 1st and that feeling you have of, man, this is why we do this. So our kids have worked extremely hard all summer like everybody's has. They put in time, and, so here we are. This is year 3 for me and for what we're trying to do to get Prattville back on track. We've made gradual progress. First year went 7-4, we got back in the playoffs. Last year went 9-3 and got back to the second round of the playoffs and won the first playoff game since 2014. So, we talk to our kids all the time about expectations. If you're going to go turn a culture around, I don't know if there's a great answer or a definition, but the way I look at it is you set a high expectation day one and you're consistent every day with it. And we don't ever back down from it with our kids. This is what we expect. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we do things. And what happens is that first year, those kids are excited. They were. They didn't know how to win, but they wanted to win. And so they were learning. Year 2, you started seeing flashes of the expectation. Now we're here year 3. There's things that we as coaches don't have to say it because the older guys are saying it. So it is definitely taking hold. Now where we are as far as progress of wins and losses, that remains to be seen. But I'm definitely excited and proud of where our seniors, our football team is as we move into year 3 and we move into this season. We've got like most, we're kind of in some positions, we got some experience coming back, some positions we don't. But I think that's the beauty about high school football is there's always going to be a kid or two that's going to be developed so much and from one year to the next, and you get to go see that, and it's really special. We do have some returning starters. We've got we got a running back, Keandre Powell, who really picked up game 4 in the Wetumpka game last year. He'll come back as a starter, and we have another running back who played a lot, so we feel like we kind of got 1.5 there. We got a receiver, Nalterius Bates, who's a really good player. He's coming back, in a tight end, and that played a lot last year, really wasn't a starter, but in Spencer Roy. We got 2 starters on the offensive line, Javon Harris and R.J. Meyer, who will be returning. On defense, we return about 4 to 5. We have a safety, Jameer Cromlin. We have another linebacker, A.P. Coleman, who's coming back, and we got a D lineman, Tim Trotter, and then we have an Alabama commit and a kid named Ian Jackson, who's really not only just a great player, man, he's a great human being. He's really taking on a leadership role with our team, and so he's had an outstanding summer. And since we've been back with some contact, man, he's really turned his game to a new level. So really expecting high things out of him. We're playing a really quality opponent. Wetumpka's been one of the best programs in the state for the last 5 or 6 years. Coach Perry and his staff do an outstanding job. We know it's going to be a great challenge, and that's to me why you would play a game. You want competition, and man, to play it with a rival school, you got 2 very similar communities that both have a lot of respect for each other. So, man, we know it's going to be a great challenge Friday night. We definitely look forward to it. And I think I speak for most coaches. We're just thankful for the opportunity to play. I was talking to some coaches earlier. I think I've even noticed myself I'm a little more calm this year than I ever have been, just because, man, we got the opportunity to do this, and all of us were worried that we wouldn't. So, and we're excited. We look forward to everybody coming out. I hope everybody will come out Friday night. If you can't come out, don't feel comfortable with that, please watch it on TV. I heard Coach Perry's comments. He's right, man. We got to support these kids. What they're doing is something really special. And, man, just with everything going on, it really shows just how resilient people are, but especially our teenagers. And, man, we're excited about the opportunity to play this football season.
Thank you, Coach. And on behalf of all of us at the Alabama High School Athletics Association, Coach Ross, Coach Perry, we appreciate you. Thank you for accepting our invitation to help us kick off the football season. We're so very excited. I hope all of you can tell by the passion, and all of 4 of our football coaches, our cross-country coach, our volleyball coach. These coaches really care about these student athletes, and they're going to do a phenomenal job keeping them safe. They've done a great job to this point, and within our current climate, all the protocols, all the things we need to do, our staff will do our part in trying to help them, but those coaches will take such a tremendous leadership role in trying to protect those young people, and we're so very thankful for them. Again, Thursday night, 7 o'clock at the Crampton Bowl here on WOTM, NFHS Network if you can't make it. Montgomery Catholic versus Pike Road, and then Friday night, Prattville High School versus Wetumpka. Two very, very good football games to watch to kick off the season. We're so very excited. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate all you do. Appreciate your support of these student athletes, our coaches in your community, and we wish you the best of luck as we go into the fall in this 2020 school year. God bless.